Hey guys, welcome back to Kerbal Space Program with me, Brad M73. Let's see, I just want to kind of check on, see what flights are. Let's see, Minmus, okay. Yeah, we landed on Minmus the other day. I was kind of testing out a rocket design, and this actually might be it right here. Let's go take a look. Yeah, I was kind of testing out some rocket designs that I wanted to build for, I guess, to see if they were feasible for Minmus, and actually did find some that were, worked out pretty well. Yeah, I think these are the guys that landed on Minmus before, and so we're going to go back there this episode. So we're going to go back to the space program, or the space center, and we're just going to recover that crew. And I'm going to kind of show you the ship that I took there, and I'm also going to make some modifications to it as well. Let's see, splashdown, we'll recover, yes. Okay. Hit escape to go back, and we're going to go back into the vehicle assembly building. It's actually very easy to get to Minmus, especially using nuclear rockets. So what I did was I built a ship, load, I think it's probably this one. Yeah, okay. Yeah, this thing's kind of a nightmare, actually. Whoops, let me zoom out a little bit so you can really see it. Basically, we have the solid rocket boosters, and all of the main fuel tanks around here are going to be our stage 1. And actually, I think even the center rocket in there gets in on the action. Once the SRBs separate, it's basically just the I think these are, what are the fuel cells? Yeah, the Rockomax fuel tanks and the mainsail engines. We've got a decoupler here. We've got another Rockomax and mainsail, and then this is where it kind of gets fun. We've got battery pack. We've got solar panels on either side. One thing actually I forgot to put on were actually some landing lights. So we're going to do that. I think it should be here. Yep. So we're going to put those there. And then I think I'm going to put some other ones here. No, probably closer down here. And then the other thing that I didn't do was I didn't have a ladder for my guy to get down. Not that you really need it on Minmus, actually, because there's no gravity. But yeah, it was kind of a little bit of a challenge, not too bad. So I'm going to take that off, and we're just going to put on some ladders. Where's the ladder I want? Oh, there it is. So if we zoom in, actually, let's see if I can, I don't know if I can, yeah, I can't fold those down. With the legs folded down, he just has to jump a little ways to get up to the ladder, and then I'll just put a little kind of connecting bit of ladder rungs there so he can get up. Okay, so that should do good, or do well. Let's see, I'll just put the nose cone back on it. Let's see here. And I kind of thought about kind of a way to leave a little probe behind, and I didn't really think of a really good way to do it. let's see. Because we could, you know, make the gravity detector, the thermometer, the pressure and barometer kind of thing, the accelerometer. You know, we could make a communications array here, another communications array over here. I'm just like thinking of stuff. Actually, we don't really need any of this stuff because it doesn't really have any purpose as far as I can tell. It's just there to, you know, probably, you know, once we get into career mode, you know, when that part of the game is released, it'll be kind of a little bit more relevant. But for right now, it's really not. Let's see here. I want to save Minmus to, whoops, to rocket. Okay. And I'm going to save this rocket, because we can even come back to this later, and I'm still not 100% sure that I'm happy with the way the designs of the lower stage. Matter of fact, what I'm going to do, here's the structural. I just kind of want to strengthen this up a little bit, because it seemed like I was having a lot of problems with overthrusting and breaking decouplers. So basically, I think in one mission, like, this decoupler broke, and I basically couldn't control the rocket. And I did a few test flights before I kind of got a first, you know, you know, like the first prototypes that actually made it to orbit. Alright, so we got a pretty big rocket here. Let's go and try this guy out, and we're going to see what happens. I'm pretty confident we'll be able to get the Minmus. If not on this launch, on subsequent launches. One of many subsequent launches. No, I'm pretty sure this one will get us there. Here we go. Oh god, oh god. Well, at least our guys didn't die. What in the world? Oh. Wait, is it these? I want to do, maybe I'll try to stick him right there. No, no, no. Okay, maybe this will work. When you have all these different stages, especially with like multiple stages within stages, like with the like for example, I want all. Let's see, we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. We have 12 solid rocket boosters, so we want to make sure that all of those fire at the same time. All of the main engines fire. So we need to look down here. See, all of this needs to be all on the same stage, like right here. And the other solid rocket booster. So we've got 6 and 6, and all of our main engines are firing. Then in the second portion, we want to make sure, if we look up kind of here, we want to make sure that all of these are on the same stage, and that finally all of these guys are on the same stage, which are these decouplers in here, like those. So And then we're going to have this decoupler here firing, firing this engine, which will be here. You can kind of see it lighting up there. It's right there. And then, let's see, we're going to have the two decouplers to decouple the main lander and the return stage, which is this giant thing on top. And yes, that whole thing will get us, once we're in orbit, will get us to Minmus and back, because we've got 4 nuclear engines, so they're pretty efficient. All right, so we are on the launch pad. We're nice and solid. We're ready to go. I'm going to throttle up my mainsail engines to about 50%, and then we're going to ignite all the stages. So here we go. Oh God. Okay, that I really didn't want to happen, so we lost some Delta-V there for sure. The other thing you want to do, which I apparently didn't do, is make sure that your, basically like your launch towers are on the same stage as your ignition rockets. You always want those to be all on the same system, on the same, the same stage over here on the left, so that you don't run into the problem that I just had. And if you didn't see it, basically as soon as I decoupled that, the rocket started falling back to Earth, so I had to ignite the solid rocket boosters. So here we come up on SRB separation. Okay, cool. Bye-bye, solid rocket boosters. All right, so we're doing all right here. Actually, I want to kind of throttle back just a little bit, because I want to conserve a little bit of fuel. We're still accelerating pretty well. Once we get up about 13,000. Okay. So now what I'm going to do, turn my SAS off. I'm going to start pitching over to about here, and we're going to come up on staging. Okay. Now this is where we got to be really careful that no, I don't want RCS. This is kind of where it becomes difficult for the rocket to control. No, stay on the 90 degrees. Right there. Okay. Alright. So we need to throttle back just a little bit, because I don't know if you were paying attention down here in the bottom left, but we are really close to overheating. Okay, so we're doing alright. We're not in the perfect orbit that I was wanting, but we're doing alright. So we're going up 90, 92, 93, 94, 95, and I'm going to cut off my engine. And I'm going to put in my maneuver node, take the prograde vector, and I'm just going to bring this out until my there we go, my apo and periapsis kind of trade positions there. And I'm going to bring that in so that I've got a pretty nice, rounded orbit right about there. 101.94. That's pretty good. Okay, next thing. I'm going to take the SAS off, and we are going to try to turn over to the that vector, this one right here. Whoa. Come on. Okay, I'm going to hit T. Hopefully that turned my... Okay. And we need to go full bore on this because we're really slowing down. And we got a lot of catching up to do to make our... Okay, so we're coming up on staging again. And bam. We need to ignite that ASAP. say goodbye to him. Okay, and actually, yeah, as you can see, I don't know if you can see, but we are starting to starting to kind of lose some altitude. You can see our altitude is starting to drop now. So yeah, it's really important we catch up. We will get there, but our orbit might be a little bit lopsided to what I was wanting, but shouldn't be too terribly bad. And we will cut off right about now. Okay, so let's see how the orbit turned out. This is like a little satellite thing we launched. I don't know why it's in that weird of an orbit, but okay. There's my rocket debris from the launch and separation, and see, periaps is 81. It's not ideal. Let me see if I can get a maneuver node here, because I just want to tilt my orbital plane around just a little bit. There we go. So now hopefully if I move out skyward like this, yep, there we go. There's our blue thrust, prograde thrust vector indicator, I guess is what it's called. Alright, let's zoom in. And again, I'm just in the cockpit here, so I can look around. I can see my buddies up there. Hey, guys! And actually, it's kind of cool, if I go to, like, this guy here. Maybe not. Okay, we can't see anything. Oh, yeah, we can't see anything because we're facing away from the planet. Just need to burn out. Bam. And if we look back, we take that maneuver node out of there. Now we've got a pretty nice circular orbit that will hopefully make us collide with one of our other capsules. Actually, no, not really. Okay, now is the point where, here's the moon out here, but here's Minmus way out here, and we're like, how in the monkey are we going to get out there? Well, if you look, we've got a circle. If we bring that ellipse down, so that it's pretty much flat with the Kerbal ellipse, we can see that it's kind of at an angle. And so what I kind of want to do is make it so that we can get there. And actually what we can do, ideally you want to intercept Minmus so that it's right along that path, but you don't necessarily have to, excuse me, as I will show you. Oh my god. It can be tricky to pick up an intercept, and because you kind of need to change. Where's the maneuver node? Okay. You kind of have to change. Let's see, that's the Kerbal escape, which we do not want, because we want to intercept with Minmus. I think I have to raise up the vector a bit, like, is that kind of in the right place? I just want to get an intercept. Sometimes I get it right off the bat, and other times I don't. There's just like no rhyme or reason to it. Well, let's see. Let's try this again. And you have to kind of do it really slow, too. Let's see here. No. See, that's putting your whole orbital vector and everything around the sun, which is a whole nother ball game. No, I want to do this. Huh, I don't know why it's kind of taking so long to get the intercept here. Like I said, I usually do this, and it seems like whenever I go to record a message, it turns into a, or you know, in an episode, it turns into a huge pain to get an intercept with Kerbal. And I guess I put myself on the spot or something. I don't know. Alright, let's try this. No. I want to add a maneuver node like that, and I just want to thrust out. Let's see. Oh wait, maybe let me try this. Okay, I'm going to add another maneuver node out here, and then I'm going to kick this up. So you got to be really careful though that I don't get, you know, the moon encounters are not what I want. It's actually the Minmus encounters that I want. And I don't think I'm going to get one. Ay, 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 ay. This is not working. They really don't make it easy either. I mean, this is kind of a, you know, not easy. Why isn't this working? I mean, just the other day I was doing this like no problem. Well, maybe we'll try going out this way instead. It's kind of like the backwards way to do it, but starting to get too many flights in orbit here. See, that's about where I need it to be. See, there's the moon encounter. Oh, are you kidding me? Alright. I'm gonna pause the episode. I'm gonna come back when I get a Minmus encounter because I'm starting to get frustrated here. So I'll be right back, and I'll see if I can figure out what I did wrong. So I'll be right back. Alright, guys, I'm back, and I kind of figured out kind of what I was doing wrong, I think. And actually, I think I figured out a much easier way to, figure out, where to intercept and how to intercept the planet. First thing you want to do, so we're at Kerbin right now. Kerbin is our target. We want to actually go out here and click on Minmus and set that as a target. And this gives us our it gives us the orbit, and it also gives us the 2 intercept nodes on either side. This would be probably the ascending, and then or actually that one might be the descending node, and this one might be the ascending node. And it also gives us our 2 points along the our Kerbin orbit. So what we can do is hold on, put in a maneuver here. You can do it at probably either the ascending or descending node. Seems like I was having a little bit of better luck at the descending node, and just thrust prograde out until you get your little intercept tags here. So it says like closest approach, and then you want to see where the other closest approach is. So basically what you want to do is adjust your your thrust angles until you get it where these two, your closest orbital approach and the closest orbital approach for Minmus. So see this, the orange ellipse here is our orbit, and that's where we are when Minmus is closest to us, and that's where Minmus will be, in relation to our orbit. So what we want to do is we want to get those as close together as possible. So I think we've thrusted too much prograde, so I'm just gonna, I'm barely touching my mouse to bring this back in. You can see in the upper left it's moving. Alright, and there now we've got our Minmus encounter. And I think we can actually thrust retrograde just a little bit, and we can kind of turn. There we go. I was going to say we can turn that just a bit. Might need to turn it a little bit more. There we go. And okay, there we go. Because we just want to use as little fuel as possible to get us there. This is really sensitive, guys. So there we have our Minmus encounter. Whew. All right. Sorry it took so long, but hopefully you guys kind of learned how to do this with me too. And actually this should make it a bazillion times easier for me to get there in the future. So anyway, what I want to do is go and find. Now this is our intercept node to Minmus. We don't need to worry about that. That's actually for orbital rendezvous, which we want to land on it, which is still rendezvousing, but we're not really actually wanting to, rendezvous with the orbit. So, all right, so we are going to line ourselves up here. We'll look in on the nav ball. I just like zooming in on the nav ball. It just gives me more precision, and I can look around the cockpit. Hey, there's my other Kerbal buddy there, but I still. Oh, and there's Minmus kind of down there to the bottom left as we get ready to thrust away. Ooh, that just sounds doity. So let's see. Another thing I want to do is I do want to extend our solar panels while I can. No. Hope I didn't just accidentally retract them as well. Extend those puppies out while we can, because we are losing some power. And I just want to turn that couple of the lights on. I think there's actually a button to like turn all the lights on at once, but that's all right. All right, so that's kind of cool looking. There we've got some lights on. All right. We're probably going to start burning through battery here pretty quick too. Okay, so we are 18 minutes away, and it's just a 31-second burn. So what's going to happen though? Okay, I'm just speeding up time just a little bit, just to get down to about 2 minutes or so. This is probably not going to give us all of the, our main sail is probably not going to be able to give us all the thrust we need for our orbital burn, or our exit burn here. And actually I need to zoom in because I need to realign this. Yay. Alright, cool. Alright, so here is our cool looking spaceship. It kind of looks like it's got some wings because of the solar panels. And our batteries should be up to full charge now. Yep, 400 to 400. Alright, so 49, 48. Once it gets down to about 20 seconds, I'll probably thrust up. And there, we can bring that in. And I don't know. I don't think, nah, it's not going to give us enough fuel. Okay, there we go. So we're going to need to detach those parts there. See you guys later. Unfortunately, that big fuel tank is going to remain in orbit. And we're going to be thrusting with our nuclear engines. And this is kind of where we are going to want some more precision, because the further you're going, the more accurate you're going to need to be to get there. And I just want to make sure that we get as accurate on course to Minmus as we possibly can. That way we'll use as little fuel as we need. You can see the nuclear engines here kind of getting really hot. $200 more meters of Delta-V. Hit T again. Okay, about 100 more meters of Delta-V. It's 500, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10, and 0. Let's see here. I think if we take our maneuver node away, we actually do not have an intercept. So I just need to thrust until that comes over. There, okay, there's our intercept. It actually looks like it's going to be after the second orbit. So we're going to orbit out here, actually come back in, and then orbit again. So, maybe not. Maybe not. It says 5 days. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens. So, as we speed up time, and our little X-Wing fighter kind of thing flies away from Kerbin, and there's the moon over there. We are on our way, guys. Bye. And so this is where we can speed up, and we're speeding up time, and everything's flying around down there. Yeah, that should catch up with us. Yeah, I think it will. Okay, so we'll slow down time. And we'll get the encounter right about there. Okay. Now the next thing we want to do is we've got our periaps, which is our closest orbital point to Minmus, and we need to start thrusting, whoops, retrograde. Now we need to start thrusting prograde. Where's the prograde marker? Periaps, 22,000 meters, that's pretty good. Okay, so you can see it only takes about 300. Let's see, there's our prograde. So we need to be up here to retrograde. There. And you can kind of see, actually once I get into the cockpit, you'll see how our prograde and retrograde vectors are pretty much right on top of each other. This symbol right here, again, is the retrograde vector. Hopefully if you've been watching my series here, you've picked that up by now. And my dog is looking at me like I don't know what. She just came from the other room, and that's usually not a good sign. I hope I don't find like a gigantic biscuit on the carpet, if you know what I mean. Let's see here. Okay, so anyway, we are aligned, and look around our cockpit here. I wish you could actually kind of detach from your seat and float around. That would be fun. Oh, another thing we could do is actually lower our landing struts. Since there's no atmospheric friction out here, it's not really going to matter too much. So that's kind of what our ship's going to look like when we land. Okay, so anyway, let's go back to the map. We've got 1 hour to burn. Oh, there's Minmus. Right out there. We're getting close, guys. Now, I know I've been to Minmus on previous, my previous series. So it's not like, oh my god, we're at Minmus this time. I'm going to go ahead and start thrusting now. And we'll just go up to full thrust, full throttle. He's got a big frown on his face over there. Make sure that, yep, we're right on the money. That's coming in there. I think when I get down to around 50 meters per second, and don't worry about this orbital ellipse. That is our orbital ellipse to Kerbin. So yeah, we don't have much of a chance on getting back there right now. But we want to bring this in. And then I want to start slowing down my thrust a little bit until, we can get that right, just about right there. Oh, a little bit more. Well, we got down to 8,000 meters. That's pretty good. So, whoops. I'm going to delete that maneuver node. And then we're just going to add another one here over Minmus to bring in the orbit nice and tight. Let's see, we're going to continue to thrust retro. Let's see, 13. Oh, I don't think we want to go that low. Nope, I want to go the other way. 6,000, 10,000. Okay, that one's pretty good. Okay, so what we can do is we can kind of get lined up. Oh, let's see here. How is that one going to work? Okay, it's going to be over here. Whoa. One of the things I would like is to be, like if I was in the map screen, to be able to hit T and get into the cockpit, or to hit C and get into the cockpit screen like we can from out here. I don't see Minmus anywhere. But like I can't hit N, well, okay. But if I'm out here and I hit M and I hit C, see I'm hitting C now and I can't get into the cockpit. So if you're in the cockpit, you can hit the map or get in and out of there. But anyway, I know, just a little pet peeve, but just an idea. I think it's very doable. All right, so it's gonna be 8 hours to get to Minmus. Oh God, oh God, that was close. All right, so we got 10 minutes. Two, one. I'm gonna slow down. Just go back into the cockpit. We are going to need to trim our thrust vector here. Okay. That's pretty good. Okay. And we're going to cut off now. Okay. So now if I go into my map screen, I should have a roughly circular... Yeah, that's pretty darn good right there. Alright. And actually, I think if... I highly doubt that I'll be able to shed any light down on the surface, but... Whoa! And I was right. Okay. So now we just have to pick a landing spot. We could actually land in the dark since we've got plenty of lights. We could go out here and we could say, okay, well that's where we landed the first time, so let's not land there again. I almost kind of want to land somewhere in the dark, because I don't think I've ever landed in the dark before, and it's a little bit scarier that way. So let's go ahead and let's go ahead and do that. I'm just gonna add a maneuver node right here, and this right here is going to be our thrust vector. Yay! And we don't need to be super precise for this part. Alright. And it's just going to be in 5 minutes. 3, 2, 1, and slow down time. And I can just go ahead and start thrusting. Heck, I can just go full throttle. Again, this is not super precise or anything like that. And we're going to be able to slow down pretty darn quick. Yeah, that's going to be really good there. So, there I was trying to hit the C button so I could get back out. What we need to do is immediately start. See, we're descending now. Well, actually, we are still kind of moving along the surface here. So what I want to do again is just start thrusting. What is that? Oh, that's my... Okay, so now we're starting to descend just slightly. Okay. Now we should eventually start kind of coming in a lot steeper. And as we do, I mean, it's really hard to tell because it's dark. We are descending. Hopefully this looks okay for you guys, and the video converter doesn't make all the dark planet look like it's all jumbled pixels. So I'll try to make sure that I do some pretty high quality conversion on this video. Come on. So as our orbital velocity again increases, I want to slow it back down again. And that should bring, you know, it's really nice and slow. I mean, there's no hurry to get down here. You know, you can see this is our climb and descent indicator. What's that? Abort. Oh, I don't really have an abort system on this. But you always kind of want to keep your attitude indicator directly towards the retrograde vector. That way, it will always slow you down. And that is kind of opposite the flight path. So your retrograde vector is actually what you're firing the engines toward. As you can see, you know, this is blue sky here. We're actually pointing towards the sky of Minmus. Look at that. We got plenty of fuel. Plenty of fuel. We can probably hop around on Minmus for a while. Okay, so now we switched over to surface velocity. So we're pretty much going straight down at this point. As you saw, you know, the ball kind of switched there. Actually, if we put ourselves right here, okay, and we can really kind of look and see the surface coming up out there. We should start to see our lights on the ground down there as well. I do want to slow our approach somewhere down to around 20 meters per second. Now let's go about 10. Okay. And I just hit the shift button once there, just so we've got a tiny bit of thrust. Up there's our lights coming in, and we should be clear of these these asteroids, these boulders. And if not, we can rotate. Whoops, slow down our rotation there. Whoa. So we're drifting up just slightly. Okay, we are just barely off the surface. I mean, we are at minimum thrust right now, and there we are. And there's engine cutoff. Look at that. Look how little fuel we have. We have so much fuel left. It's like not even funny. And you know what? I should have put lights facing outward a little bit more. I think that would have even been more spectacular. you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to shut these lights off. I think these are a little bit too bright. Yeah, the other ones are a lot better. Maybe I need to switch those lights around with these. I don't know. What do you guys think? I don't know either. Well, don't really see too much to explore around here. So let's head north. We can do that like right here. And so we can actually head north. You can see where our trajectory is there. Whoops. I mean, it's really super easy to get around this planet. Almost ridiculously so. I mean, there's just, you need so little thrust to get into orbit. Especially with these nuclear engines. Gosh, we can probably... Whoa, okay. Not sure what happened there, but Kerbal crashed and it actually sent me back to the point at which I just had landed on the moon. So it didn't really lose too much progress here. What I'm going to do, actually, I forgot to do this. I'm just going to EVA Mikas here, or Mikas. Going to extend the ladder here. And I think there's another one like down here, but come on, Mikas. Whoa. Yeah, always keep your finger on that F key in case they let go. Where's the other? Okay, there's the other ladder. Hopefully it doesn't like bang into the nuclear rocket and explode. That would suck. Oh God. And oh God. And of course his faceplate breaks and he dies. Whee! Alright, we can fly around. Is there a light? Oh yeah, there's a little light on here. Yay! Alright, so we're going to have him plant a flag. Minmus 2 landing site 1. First landing site of Minmus 2 mission. Oops. Alright. And so, alright, so like I said, we can actually go. I'll just go ahead and leap him up in the air. Come on. Hit R, and R, I'm assuming they meant that to mean the reaction control. Well, I wish I could see stars like that in the night sky. That'd be awesome. Oh. Come on. Okay, there we go. It's kind of a weird control scheme because I kind of have to keep my finger on the shift button. Actually, it's kind of like the top of my finger. Alright, let's just land. Check that out. That looks pretty cool. Let's turn our lights off here. Can I go into first person? I guess I really can't, huh? It's Dirt's Tier Bird. actually a pretty big rocket, you know, once I get down and take a look at it, or, you know, get under it with my little Kerbal. Grab. See, you can just kind of jump all the way up. Grab. And he's going to board. Alright. Yep, now it looks like a little tiny lander pod there. Alright, so let's increase thrust. See, even on the lowest setting, it's going to give us enough thrust to get away from the planet. And I'm just going to aim way over here. And we can kind of, whoops, if we zoom in, well, we're kind of too low anyway, but we can actually just thrust in the direction that we want to go. We're still going up. And I mean, we can orbit at very, very low altitudes on Minmus because, again, there's not that much gravity. Whoops. Just want to keep a little bit of up angle here. Yeah, so, you know, we're going to be at 7,000 or 3,000 feet above the surface right there. Must be like kind of a mountain or something that's coming up. Oh, I can't even speed up time anymore right now. Yeah, so that, I mean, that'll almost put us into orbit right there. Alright. Yeah, I mean, there's just all kinds of cool stuff you can do in this game. Alright. Okay, now we can kind of speed up. And I don't really see much, like, on the surface. Let's see. You know, I can see surface features, but, you know, you can't really see anything. What was that? Keep seeing like little flickers out there, and it's probably just the way the game textures work. Where's this gonna land? Put us, okay. Whoops, I don't want to go that far. I mean, you know, the other thing too is, even as small as the planets are, they're pretty darn big. I'm just gonna kind of stick my tail out towards the retrograde vector here. The planets are pretty darn big. I mean, there's a ton of areas to explore, and you know, there's little Easter eggs on each of the planets, even on the other planets that are, you know, out in the solar system. Okay, now we're kind of coming in, so maybe I need to and there's the sun coming up there. Let's see, now we're descending again. So let's, like this time, let's actually, well, let's see, which way are we going here? We're going north, I think. Yep. kind of north. So what we'll do, we'll just stick our butt towards the retrograde vector again, and we'll basically just come to a stop. The surface velocity is going to basically go to nothing, and there we go. So we're going to start dropping off. See how easy that was? I mean, Minmus is super easy. Minmus is actually 10 times easier to land on than even the moon. The moon's got a lot more gravity, and just a lot more can go wrong. I meant for that to stay on. Yes, move my solar panels so that I can see, so they can see the sun. And there's the shadow back there. Alright, there's our second landing. Yay! That's cool right there, guys. That's pretty neat. Yay! So we pretty much have everything we need to keep our spacecraft working. We've got our batteries, we've got some lights, you know, really everything we need. Let's get Barfred out. Barfred, is that, I wonder if they call him that because he barfs a lot. Let's go ahead and get our, hey, there we go. Yeah, get out here on our little patio. There we go. No, stay right there. No, stay. Let's go up. There we go. Yeah, he's like, oh my God, I'm outside. He's like, wow. He's like, this was all worth it. Yeah, I'd pretty much have the same. Oh, that's Kerbal. That should be Kerbal right there. Yeah, I would pretty much have the same look on my face if I was in his shoes too. So, all right, guys. Well, I'm going to end the episode here, and thank you very much. This might be a long episode. I haven't even been looking at the clock. So, the next episode, I'm going to show you how easy it is to get home, and you're going to be really surprised. So, thanks for following along with me. Hopefully, you're learning a lot about Kerbal as I am derping through this myself. And you know, hopefully a lot of my insights are rubbing off on you guys. And want to give a shout out to Chris because I know he's been trying to, you know, a friend of mine, he's been trying to get into Kerbal a little bit, and he's kind of had some issues with, you know, figuring out how to get the orbits to work, and just you know, so stick with that. You know, you'll get it eventually. This isn't an easy game by any stretch of the imagination. So, you know, just keep working at it, and don't let it discourage you, because this is a really, really super awesome game for what it is. You know, I can't explain enough like what a good space simulation game this is. I think the guys, you know, at who is it that makes this game? Boy, I feel like a double derp. But no, the authors of Kerbal Space Program deserve everything and more. This is just they've done a really great job, and so want to say keep up the good work to them as well. Also, I'm just going to give a shout out to Robert. Robert, I know you've been asking for a shout out for a while. I think I've missed it in a couple episodes, so here's your shout out, buddy. We will see you, everybody else, in the next episode, and please don't forget to like the videos and comment. You know, post your comments, whether you like the videos, whether you hate it, if I talk too much, if I don't talk enough, and so on and so forth. So we will see you later. Everybody take care, fly safe, all that good stuff. Don't kill too many Kerbals, and I will see you in the next episode, guys. Bye for now.